Right. Welcome everyone to another live stream. We've got an exciting nebula tonight. Hello, Aju. I see you in the live chat. Thanks for coming back. I've been already image stacking just for a few minutes. I like to get stuff ready, get the Seestar ready a few minutes before I live stream just to get the object in view. So we are looking at deep space today again with the Seestar s50 smart telescope. We've got a good one tonight, guys. I want to talk about objects also that are going to be good ones to see throughout the month of July. So let's look forward to that on this stream. If you notice, so I am imaging right now. I'm going to brighten up the screen a bit too, but I'm going to image, or I am imaging the one and only Swan Nebula. This is going to come out really nice, guys. Give it a few minutes. It's only been stacking for about, like I said, it's on 2 minutes and 10. If you can see there on the screen. And hello, Dave from Colorado. All right. Welcome back, Dave. So as I was saying, we are imaging M17. This is a really, really nice target during the summer. I would say after Pillars of Creation, which we did recently on the live stream, and recently did also, which I didn't know, the Lagoon Nebula, if you caught the last stream, is known as the Orion of the summer. I thought that was really, really cool. So, and honestly, the last live stream I had, let's see if tonight can beat it, but the last one with the Lagoon Nebula, I thought it was one of the best live streams, one of the best, just because the Lagoon Nebula looked incredible. So check out my last live stream if you haven't seen it already, and go do Lagoon Nebula. Like I said, it's known as the Orion of the summer because it's so prominent. It's in the Milky Way. It looks absolutely beautiful. We're going to be looking at Milky Way Nebula tonight. And I'm starting out with M17, which is the Omega Nebula. It has tons of names, guys. We're going to go through that, but it's known as the Omega Nebula. I think more famously known as the Swan Nebula. And I'll show you guys why it looks like the Swan Nebula. You might already know, but it does have a swan look. If I tilt the tablet or if I tilt my the image of it. So Randy, thank you for joining. And let me, like I said, let me brighten the image a bit so you guys can see this a little better. And check it out. So it's M17 you're seeing there, right? And it's now I marked it, and you notice now the name is also known as the Checkmark Nebula. It's got several names. I want to adjust a little bit here. The brightness, the contrast. Let's get this going. It's going to look really, really cool, guys. This one is really pretty. And it's it's fairly low on the horizon. There we go. I think I started it when it was at like 15 degrees altitude. It's at 23 now, finally. Guys, this is really helpful. If you have this scope, hey, Curly, I see you in the chat. Thanks for joining. If you have this scope, guys, this is really cool that now it has a little info button here. Before we had to look at the info for what we're imaging in a different way. But just to get to the point, this is really helpful just to see, how high if you know your altitude, degrees, and stuff like that, this is really good to learn. I recommend everybody to learn this. 0 degrees is the horizon, right? 90 the zenith, 23. So if you have no obstructions and everything, if you learn your degrees in the sky, super, super helpful to know what to image, what has a good unobstructed view in your location. So anyway, I just wanted to show what we're looking at. We're gonna, the final image should look like this, I would say, or even better. But Omega Nebula is known as the Swan Nebula. I've got Stellarium open also at the bottom of the screen. The chat, if you've got the chat there open, it might be in the way a little bit of the chat, but that's okay. For those of you that rewatch the stream, or yeah, those that catch it the next day, they're able to see really well. They don't have to look at everything that's covering the chat. But anyway, it's all good. Stellarium is open at the bottom. That's what I have at the bottom. But as I was saying with this nebula, guys, you have to get this if you haven't already. The Swan Nebula, also known as the Checkmark Nebula, Lobster Nebula, not to be confused with another one that's also known as the Lobster Nebula, which is the War and Peace Nebula. Highly recommended as well during the summer. And also this one, Swan Nebula, is known as the Horseshoe Nebula. So Messier 17. And it's in the constellation of Sagittarius. We're gonna look into that. So here we are. We're at 3 minutes and 30 of image stacking. Okay. Yeah, why so many names for one single thing? That's a good question, Audrey. A lot of nebula do. I think it just gets, it just gets famous with different names because to everyone it'll look different. I don't know who gets to determine those names. They just stick. They just stick. But for the purpose of this stream, we'll focus on this one. I'll refer to it as what is most commonly known as, which is the Swan Nebula. You can kind of already see the swan look. I don't know if you guys can tell. And if I flip the screen, I think it's... Oh, there, okay. Here we go, guys. I flipped it. I flipped it. And do you see that? It's like... Do you see the swan? Do you see the swan? I'm trying to point at it there with the cursor, but you see the head here? And then the body right here? But you see how it's also called the Checkmark Nebula when I mark it? Okay. Yeah, this one is really, I think this one is really pretty. We barely started stacking. That's cool. That's cool. You should be able to see the outline there of the swan. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna move this a little bit. Actually, I like this view. I'm gonna move my Seestar a little bit there. And center it a little bit more. And then I want to pull up Stellarium because I want to show you guys some nice objects for you to capture for this month. Take advantage of the summertime if you have some clear skies. Let me pull up Stellarium there. Oh, good, good, good. Here we go. Okay. You see that? We're right here, guys. Like we are pointing the scope in the Milky Way. This nebula is in the Milky Way. Oh, kind of hard to see it because of the chat right now. I might have to pull this up more so everybody can see. There we go, guys. I'm gonna cover up Swan Nebula in the background a little bit just while it's stacking and it's doing its thing. I just want you guys to see this. So here we go. This is the best time, by the way, to look at the Milky Way. So if you live in dark skies or if you can travel to dark skies, Bortle 4 or less, Bortle 3, Bortle 2, try to see if you can see the Milky Way. You should be able to see it because summertime, this time, July, August is a great, great time to look at the Milky Way, guys. With the naked eye is what I'm talking about, okay? With the naked eye. And let's see, with Stellarium, I'm going to put M17 in there. Oh. Omega Nebula. See, it comes out as Omega immediately on Stellarium. I'm going to zoom in. You guys see that? I'm zooming in. It's like in the Milky Way, which is what we're looking at right now. Check it out. Swan Nebula right there. And then I'm going to move it over. You see how it says Omega 2 on the left side. Okay. Let's get back in there. I'm going to zoom in more. But this is literally what we're looking at. This is what we're looking at with the telescope right now. It's at a magnitude 6. And like I said, it's in the constellation of Sagittarius. A lot of good nebulae, more than one, in the constellation of Sagittarius, guys. I don't know if I see how it's called the checkmark nebula. I haven't been able to distinguish that yet. The checkmark. But yep, that's what we're looking at. And I want to use another, wait, just because I love the Sky Guide app so much, I'm going to move this down. Okay. But if we move back out, you're going to see this is all Milky Way. And it's stacking there, guys. You see it? Is it getting better and better? Let me open it back up. We're at 4 minutes of image stacking now. Oh, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in. There we go. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, guys. So I love this one. It's really pretty. Come on, let's get this better and better. We just got to give it some more time, guys. Okay, let's pull up Sky Guide. I don't need the compass on. Honestly, guys, some of the best stuff to look at is in the southeast. Thankfully, that's my best view. We're in here right now. Okay, you see the Milky Way? All of this? All of this right here. Beautiful. Please, if you haven't seen the Milky Way with the naked eye, please go look at this. Go look at this summer, like now. Travel to dark skies if you can. If you don't have to travel too far, like 2-3 hours out, by car, go for it. It's an incredible sight. Go to a national park if there is one near you to go look at the Milky Way. It's just beautiful, beautiful during the summer. But as I was saying, you see we're in the constellation Sagittarius right now, and I say that because that's where we have the scope. The scope is in there. And that's what the scope is looking at. Check it out. Swan Nebula. Okay. And all of these amazing nebulas are in here. We were looking at this also the other day on the live stream. Eagle Nebula, right? Let me zoom into this. Oh, Omega. Okay, there it is. There it is. M17. That's what we're looking at. That's it. See, magnitude 6. It's about 5,000 light years away. About 5,000 light years. So I always like to compare. The other one, so Lagoon is known as the Orion of the summer. It's further out. It's a little bit further out, right? From Earth, 6,490. Can you guys see that? Maybe you can't. I gotta move that. Sorry, guys. I'm reading the facts on this thing here. Let me move it. Okay. So I'm looking at, this is Lagoon Nebula. I'm just comparing with Lagoon Nebula, what we saw the other day with the one we're seeing now, Omega. So this one is also 6 in magnitude, just like Omega right now. It's further out, but it's bigger. You notice the angular size, it's bigger. Okay, Lagoon Nebula, also known as Hourglass. Let me move that back. And Omega. Okay, you see how it's also a 6 in magnitude, but the angular size is 20, so it's smaller, 5,000 light years away. Omega M17. It rises at 7 p.m. So yeah, I started imaging it right before I came on, maybe like 15 minutes before, just so I can get it going. I think it was originally first named Omega Nebula because that's a Greek letter, the O, the Omega O. I'm assuming it was probably first named that, then later somebody thought of it as the Swan. And it's actually really big. It says it's 40 light years across. Okay, let me exit Stellarium right now. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying with this one, Omega Nebula is pretty monstrous in size. "40 light years across." It's one of the largest stellar nurseries in the Milky Way. So this is definitely a really nice go-to target for the summer, guys. Absolutely. Absolutely. So more than 100 of the Milky Way's most massive stars are in here. We're only seeing a blister, just a part of that. Um, So yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible stuff. Let me go back. Okay, so like I said, we're in the Milky Way here. We're in the Milky Way. Oh, Antares, we'll get to that later. That's another good one. Another good one that you're gonna want to check out for the summer. Though it's not the brightest star in the summer. You're gonna want to look at the brightest, which is Arcturus, but we'll talk about that later. Let me get out of here. Go back to the Seestar. Okay, how's that looking? Okay, almost getting to 5 minutes of... Almost getting to 5 minutes of image stacking. Okay, let me move this. And let me move my Seestar here. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Tally Astro, welcome. You're asking about the focal length on the Seestar? Is that what you're asking? So this is a 250 millimeter, an aperture of 50 millimeter. Small scope. Yeah. Around the yard fun. Thanks for joining. Yeah, you're right. And I do have a light pollution filter on, which is what's recommended to have on. The Seestar has a built-in light pollution filter, so that's in there on already. You can literally turn it on and off. As a matter of fact, what's really cool, guys, when you turn on your light pollution filter, I'm going to point to it with my cursor. When you turn it on, it's hard to tell that it's on, but when it's on, it's green, right? When you turn on, you can actually hear it. You can hear if it's quiet when you turn it on around you, your surroundings are quiet, you turn it on, you can hear a tiny little click, a very light click sound when the light pollution filter goes on. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Dave, it is stacking slow, which is crazy because I was actually observing it yesterday. It was better. I'm not sure why. It almost makes me want to start it over, but I do not want to start it over. Also, I'm looking at my other camera that has, I have a camera outside, right? I'm looking at the Seestar. There are a lot of fireworks out in the sky. I don't know if that's affecting it. There are a lot of fireworks, so it could be some of the haze or something getting in the way. I don't know. People are already starting their fireworks out here, so. See, Jardine, thanks for joining. It looks like there's several new people on. Hit me with the like if you're loving this and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for joining, everyone. You know what, Chewy? I might have. I know I did autofocus, but I usually turn on light pollution filter and then autofocus. I don't know if the fact that I did it the other way around had anything to do with it. It looks like it's trapped at 440. I feel like restarting this. But I always autofocus. Maybe I didn't do it in the right order. I don't know. Yeah, this keeps like failing. Okay, guys, hold up here. I feel like I wanna restart this. What do you guys think? Align to a different object? Okay. Somehow it's moving a little bit more, but it's almost at 5 now. Yep. Still failing. All right. We're gonna get the brightest star of the night sky right now. Let's do that. I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna switch it and go to this, and then I'll come back to Swan. Because I know Swan can look insane. Okay, my scope is now slewing. It is moving. It is moving more west now. To Arcturus. Walter, thanks for joining. Absolutely. M17, M16. Beautiful. Take off light pollution filter because we're looking at a star now. Honestly, guys, I have clear skies, but I don't know. Clear skies, but it's saying severe. I just got a severe weather in my location. Severe weather air quality alert. I don't know. Heat advisory, and I don't know if it's all the fireworks, guys. People are doing insane amount of fireworks right now. That could be affecting, unfortunately, tonight with the imaging. I don't know, but that's my guess as to why I am having to restart Swan Nebula. It is what it is. It's probably getting a little hazy out there. Yes. We've got Arcturus. What a coincidence. I just saw we got a severe weather alert, air quality alert in our area. Huh. Hey, we are really live here. Anything can go right, anything can go wrong. Guys, this week, by the way, this is a really good week to be imaging if you don't have a million fireworks in the sky because the moon is barely at crescent moon and yeah, we're going to be on new moon soon, so it's a really good time this week and beginning of next week as well. Image as much stuff as you can, as much nebulae. Before sunrise, before sunrise as well, if you're up really early, the crescent moon is going to be with Jupiter and Mars towards the east. You can also find the Pleiades. When I think of the Pleiades, I usually think of like winter and fall, but if you're up really early, you can catch that in the morning. All right, we've got Arcturus in there. Oh, you know what? I wanted to look at Dumbbell Nebula as well. I was looking at that. I don't know how well it'll come out tonight, but Dumbbell Nebula is an awesome target. Okay, looks like, let's see, these stars are not fully rounded tonight. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is. A little too much haze. I did autofocus. You guys saw that. I turned off light pollution filter. My favorite target for the Seestar? That's a good question. I love galaxies in general. I do love galaxies. And I also like globular clusters, so I love M13. I don't know my favorite. Oh gosh, that's kind of hard. I love maybe galaxies blow my mind the most. Jim C, thanks for joining. We are imaging Arcturus. It is currently 9:50, just almost 10 p.m. Pacific time. I am in the West Coast. I'm in California. Okay, guys, I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go to Dumbbell Nebula right now. I don't know, or actually, by the way, if you look up Swan Nebula by Omega Nebula, you're not gonna get it. Maybe I should do Swan again, because I really want to get a good one of this tonight. Okay, Seestar is slewing. The lens is slewing. We got this. OG Treb, thanks for joining. All right. Yes, learn as much as you can about the night sky, OG. From Canada, Vancouver. Yes. Wonderful. All right. All right. We've got Swan. We've got Swan again. I want to now do it backwards. See if this helps at all. I'm going to turn on the filter. Light pollution filter is on. And I will now hit autofocus. Actually, didn't look too bad there. Even before I hit autofocus, that looked pretty well-rounded stars. And I don't have time to be using batten off mask and stuff because I'm live. But that's okay. Around the yard fun, awesome for doing Steven's quintet. That's an amazing target. I actually haven't tried it for live streaming, but I definitely should. Stealth! Oh my goodness! Stealth, first of all, Stealth is back, and you just gifted me a super chat, super sticker. Thank you so much for that. That's awesome. Thank you for supporting me, guys. All my donations are going to go to... I want to upgrade my channel, my stream, my video, my camera, computer, everything. So I want to keep bringing more live streams. I'm not sponsored by any scope company, so I really appreciate everyone's donations. Thank you so much, guys. All right. I'm going to start. Let's do this with M17. Again, these stars look okay now from what I'm seeing, the little ones here. Let's hope we're going to get a better view. It's just, we've got some, I think, haze from fireworks, guys. That's the only reason I can think of, because I'm telling you guys, I always try to prepare in advance for live streams the day before, and I try to image what I'm going to look at the next day with you guys. And my Swan Nebula was insane amazing yesterday. Let's get this. I'm also at 10 seconds. I put it at 10 seconds. You know, there's 20 seconds, 30 seconds of stacking settings, but I always have it at 10. It's just better. Thank you again, Stealth. I really appreciate your support, everyone's support. Absolutely, Walter, the Lagoon Nebula is, I think it's, like I was saying earlier, I did it the other night, with the last night that I did live streaming, I was Lagoon. It's got, wow, it's got to be now up there with one of my favorite nebulae that ever. Yeah, I'm just like, I was blown away by that one. It looks great in the Seestar. And the Veil Nebula. Oh, I want to do Veil. It's kind of hard for me to get Veil. It's like it's a little bit obstructed for me, or I'd have to be on really way later at night. First of all, guys, I know it's probably really late for some of you. It's barely about to be 10 p.m. here, so I know I'm starting these live streams even later in the summer, but it's all, you know, for me, it's not that late. For you guys, if you're in the East Coast and stuff, it is what it is. I'm so sorry. Just time zone difference. Brandon, you were asking, is it possible to start capturing before it gets dark? I try to. It depends how, you know, the sun doesn't set till like 8 p.m. right now, at least for me. Like, and even at 8:15, if I can see the horizon when I go out driving, I can still see the sun, like, not the sun itself, but I can see the effects of, like, the colors on the horizon, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, when is it gonna get dark? Yeah, but, I don't know, imaging a little bit earlier, I try to wait till it's kind of a little bit more, you know, kind of just getting darker. So I guess you can. Batten off mask, Brandon. I mean, you can use it at any time. I mean, you just use it right before the object that you want to capture, right before you're going to start using your Seestar. Align it to a star first. Check out my video. I have a video on accessories and batten off mask and stuff. I show you a bit there how to use it briefly. And yeah, just align it to get your Seestar on a star. Let me move my Swan. Come on, Swan. Come out better now, please. This is my second try. Yeah, but align your Seestar with the star, one of the good bright stars, and then put the Batnoff mask on there. And then once you see it perfectly aligned, you know, check out my video on that where I explain it. Then you can start imaging. Thanks, Around the Yard Fun. I'm glad you found the channel. Thanks for joining all of you guys. I know it might be really late for some of you. You guys on the East Coast, some of you that are, it's like 1 a.m. over there. Yeah, Brandon, I'm glad you were able to get some of the accessories. Yeah, it's super, super helpful. I should pull out my camera that I have so you guys can see my scope. I always use one of the accessories that I set on there. Actually, I have several stuff on my Seestar right now from the accessories. I have the light pollution dew shield extra actual light pollution blocker that I put on the lens. Of course, I always have my leveler on my Seestar just to make life easier. Okay, guys, there we go. This is what I'm recommending. I wish I had the whole night. I wish I didn't have to wake up to go to work the next day. I wish we could image. This is for another night, but I want you guys to do it if you haven't. M7 and M6. M7 is a really good one. Let me leave this open. I'm gonna just open up Skyguide app real quick to show you guys. Ptolemy's cluster. If you like clusters, I love clusters. But if you like clusters, let me move this around. Oh, I can hear fireworks. Okay. Skyguide app. Let's do this. I want you guys to check this out. Some good clusters right now. Besides, of course, the iconic M13, but other good clusters. This one's pretty low. Ptolemy clusters are a really good one. M7 and M6. And M7, though, is better because this one is actually naked eye visible. Can you guys see that? Okay. Wow, it's the southernmost Messier object. This is a good one. It's about 80 stars. That's it right there. The age of the cluster, according to what this is saying here, around 200 million years. That's insane. 1,000 light years. The distance. Okay, so it's 1,000 light years. Wow, this is naked eye visible, guys. So this should come out really good in the Seestar, or decently well, with any scope. Because if you're in dark enough skies, you can see this with the naked eye. That's blowing my mind. That always blows my mind when you can see stuff. I really wish I lived in extremely dark skies. You guys know, guys, if you're wondering how much light pollution is near me or where I live, like I said, I'm like a Bortle 7-8. I am located like 30 minutes or so south of Los Angeles, California. And I am only 15 minutes away from Disneyland. If you want to know light pollution, because Disneyland always has fireworks. Like, I used to live in a different area that was still about 15 minutes away from Disneyland, and from my balcony up top, I could see the fireworks every night. They used to run that before COVID every single night. Every night I could see the fireworks, and they're 15-minute driving distance away. Okay, imagine that. I'm sure those fireworks running tonight. Now they don't run them as much as they used to. After COVID, it's only like 3 days a week. But for the summer, they'll do it like every day. Anyway, just saying, if you're curious, light pollution insane in my area. This app, Brandon, is the Sky Guide app. I love this app. Anyway, Ptolemy cluster, a good one to look out for. This is M7. Another one, guys, for the summer. Oh, let me see. I'm actually getting this information from the JPL NASA website. Butterfly cluster. Here we go. Butterfly cluster. You see that? All of this stuff, guys, is in the Milky Way. Look at that. What is the magnitude of this one? Magnitude of 4. That's really good. Angular size is 2,000 light years away. Okay, butterfly cluster. This is going to be another good object for the summer. I feel like I need to live stream all of this stuff. That's awesome. Rises at 7:30 p.m. in my location, just about. Altitude 19 right now. Kind of low, not too bad. It's in the Scorpius constellation. Look at that. Near there, we've got the War and Peace Nebula. I've been wanting to do that too. It just rises a little bit late for me. Or it's more of an unobstructed view if I just wait a little bit later in the night. Swan, cat's paw. Mike asking me if I've tried NGC 884869. Ah, I haven't tried that. Is that a good one right now for July, for the summertime? NGC, what are you saying there? 88884? Open cluster? Oh, that's okay, Cassiopeia. Whoa, did you see how much we moved out of that? Might be oh gosh, look at this. Look at all these clusters. Oh, Mike, I'll have Heart Nebula. Okay. Mike, look. This is probably obstructed from me. Where is this located? North? Okay, I have a bad view of the north. This is north. I might have to wait another time for if this moves around and comes back towards east or so, or south, if it does, because this is hard for me to see right now. Thanks for that suggestion, though. You see, we did like a whole 360 almost turn from where I was looking, but that location out there for me is tough. It's obstructed for me. Some of my best views are in the south and southeast. Somewhat west north is a little difficult for me. I'd have to go mobile location, like go out and live stream or something, go out somewhere else. A little difficult. Okay, guys, let's get back. Let's hope. How is this looking? 4 minutes now. 4 minutes of stacking. Maybe just not the best night for Swan, guys. For whatever reason right now, like I was saying. Simple man. How are you? Thanks for joining. Yes, you attached your S50 to another mount. I highly recommend. I attached mine to, is that an equatorial? Anyway, I attached mine to my Celestron mount. I don't have it on right now, but during the daytime, if it's too windy, I like to have my Seestar on a different mount so it'll be sturdier and higher up and easier to move around. Okay, this, I'm trying to figure out if it's stacking more quickly now, guys. I don't know, than earlier. It kind of is kind of moving a little bit quicker, maybe. Actually, you know what, guys? 440. I guess it's moving along. At least we're gonna get to 5 minutes of stacking. Let's do this. Come on. I want to show you guys. Um, check it out. So check it out. Here's my proof that my Swan was better yesterday. Look at all my pictures. This is Lagoon from the other night, but what time was I doing this at? 20 minutes of stacking. You see this? 21 minutes. Decent. 23 minutes. This was at late at night. It was almost 11 p.m. This was almost 11 p.m. And right now, which is like an hour later than right now. This is like not processed or anything, guys. This is just raw image. Oh, let me show you guys. Okay, while I let the other one keep stacking, people have asked me if I post process and stuff images. Simple post processing that I do doesn't always come out the best, but it depends. So if you have an iPhone or a tablet, an iPad, excuse me, or just with your iOS device, oh, let me use my cursor. You guys if you guys can see that. I'm gonna click on edit, and I just hit auto. Can you guys see that? You see that? Okay. Auto. Boom. Already looking a little better, a little brighter. That's what I do. That's it. Because if I try to, I can try to do it on my own, but it's, you know, if I can do auto more quickly, I definitely love just auto. And then sometimes I'll use the Lightroom app. I know some people have asked me, but I like that look. I'm gonna save that. Okay. 5 minutes, 5 minutes. At least, hey guys, we got to 5 minutes of image stacking. That can't be bad. Stealth, I want to give a shout out to you again. I'm realizing this is your third time that you donate, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I'm glad you're enjoying the channel and that you love the live streams. Brandon, let me write it in the chat. If you're still there, Brandon, I don't know. Brandon Sims, I just want to write down, you were mentioning what app is that? I did address what it was, but let me write it in the chat. It's called the Sky Guide app. There's a paid version. You don't have to get the paid version. Ignore it when it says to like purchase or something. Just get the regular free version. It's a beautiful app. It's a beautiful app. Mike Hicks road trip, yes. Simple Man NGC 520? NGC 520. You're waiting for it to rise? It probably means I have to wait for it to rise too. I'm not gonna go to it. I'm not gonna switch objects right now, but I want to see where it's at. It's a galaxy. Let me know if I'm right on this, Simple Man. NGC, we'll let that keep stacking. NGC, nope, nope, compass off. NGC 520. Spiral galaxy. Oh, too low. Look at this, look at this. This is not gonna, let's look at Southern Hemisphere though, object. Simple Man, I don't know. This is pretty, or, I mean, where are you? Where are you located? You don't mind me asking. You don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer that. This is rises at 1 a.m. Oh my goodness. Oh no, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I'd have to be up another 3 hours. Oh. Oh, magnitude of 11. Okay. I don't know how well my Seestar is going to catch that. Magnitude 11 at my light pollution skies. 104 million light years away. Oh, an interacting galaxy. I love that. Just like M51 Whirlpool. 6 minutes of Swan. 6 minutes image stacking. July moon phase. Let me look that up right now. Moon phase calendar. I think it's, you know what, guys? Thanks for the suggestion of starting this over because it's moving faster. It's coming along faster, I'd say. Um, I want you guys to see something real quick. The moon phase calendar 4. And get the advertisements out of the way on that website. So okay, so I don't know if you guys can see it. It might be blocked out by the chat. Moon phase calendar for the month. This is important. This is why I was saying it's so good to be imaging right now for this week and next week. We've got crescent moon, new moon phase. Okay, Swan Nebula, guys, let's get a round of applause. It is finally moving along. I'm not getting as much discarded stacked fails. 7 minutes. We're past 7 minutes of image stacking. Yes. Thanks for joining and for your patience. All right. Deep space, guys. This is deep space. How far did we say this was again? Discovered in 1764. Of course, Charles Messier. Oh, she actually discovered by Philippe, someone French. Can't not say the name correctly. In 1745. Ah, it's just mind-blowing to think about that. Charles Messier cataloged it in 1764. Some of the richest star fields of the Milky Way, figuring in the northern 2/3 of Sagittarius cluster. Wow, this M17 Swan Nebula, guys. Did you guys, I'm going to flip it over again. I don't know how long some of you have or have not been on the stream or just joined. I just want you guys to see the swan. You see this beauty? I just flipped it over a bit so you guys can see it. Oh yeah. Yes. This is big, guys. $5,000 light years away. Okay, I just gotta get that in my head. Okay, this is 5,000 light years away. Okay. Check mark Nebula. Oh, my device just disconnected. Auto reconnecting. Come on, Seestar. All right, we're back. It's connecting. I try to image closer towards my... I'm actually, guys, that's what blows my mind about the Seestar. My range, I am like 2 doors blocked, down the hall. My Seestar is like probably 30 feet away. And I usually try to be closer to like the outside, you know, like my living room to image, so I won't have disconnection. But lately I've been live streaming and it hasn't disconnected. Tonight it just did for some reason, but I'm really far. Woo! We're back on. 8 minutes. Simple Man, I was actually trying to image the southern pinwheel galaxy yesterday. There's Pinwheel Galaxy and then there's another one, Southern Pinwheel. What was the magnitude on that? I can't recall. I'd have to check again, but it was not coming out that great for me on the Seestar. It's also towards the west, and towards the west, I have like more lights from neighbors than towards my east. As weird as that sounds. And I think that had something to do with it. I couldn't get I really want to get the Southern Pinwheel Galaxy. So please, guys, go get that if you can. If you image that, can you send it to me through my Instagram? My Instagram, if you want to follow me, if you look at the date, you know, the date in green on top right hand side, and there's 3 little dots. You can see the description there. It'll have my Instagram on there in case you want to follow me there. If you want to send me images, feel free through private message Instagram. I have some that send me sometimes images, and some of the viewers, and I love it. But yeah, southern pinwheel. If you get that with your Seestar, send it my way. I want to see it. Frank Harris, thanks for joining from Dallas. Thanks, you're back. Thank you. Thanks, Frank. Okay, looks like Swan is stacking nicely. Let me go back to Sky Guide. Was it southern or just southern pinwheel? Okay, you see it's high for me. I mean, it's low right now. There's southern pinwheel and then there's pinwheel. Pinwheel. There's like two of them. Not that one. Not that one. This one's high up. Here we go. 7.9 magnitude. Let me move this. Let me move it. You guys can see this. Pinwheel Galaxy. I couldn't get this that well. I couldn't get it. It's just and you know the magnitude, not bad. Like a little bit under an 8. It's an Ursa Major constellation. Pinwheel, pinwheel. Pinwheel Galaxy. I was confused. It wasn't southern pinwheel. It was pinwheel. Which is M101. Yeah, so there's a difference between southern pinwheel and pinwheel. I was saying Pinwheel Galaxy is the one I meant. I was trying to get it last night. Not a good object for me. Hey, Remen Cyrodiil from Austria. Thank you for joining. We are looking at live deep space with the Seestar s50 Smart Telescope. Yeah, Pinwheel Galaxy is difficult, Simple Man. I hear you. It might be better on a more powered scope or something. I don't know. You know what, guys? At the end of the day, M17 Swan Nebula is not coming out too bad. It's not too bad, guys. It moved along after all. This hobby at sometimes just a lot of patience because, you know, we ended up starting it over and you know, not bad. Play around with the contrast and the brightness here a little bit. What time is it? 10:30 p.m. almost Pacific time. Got a little poll going, guys. Remen, you wanted to try Lagoon Nebula. Oh, it's only 17 in altitude. High. Okay, 17 degrees. Yeah. Man, maybe you have to wait. Is that the highest for you over there? Or maybe you have to wait till it's a little bit later at night? Or wait till it rises even more? Hit me with the subscribe, guys, if you're new to the channel. I think we got a lot of new viewers tonight. And subscribe and like. It'll help push out the streams to more people. I'm noticing more and more new people are joining and finding the stream. Pretty cool. I'm gonna pull up my scope. There it is. At the bottom of your screen. The chat might cover it up, or the poll, but you'll see it. And thanks for your donations, guys. Feel free to hit me up with the super chat. Stealth, once again, I appreciate your donations. Everyone who's already donated to the channel pumps me up to help me keep my streams going. Feel free to hit me up with the super chat, super sticker, or you can donate with the link at the description on Buy Me a Coffee. Oh, Remen, that's the highest in your location, that the Lagoon Nebula? Oh, man. I see. I'm curious if the majority of you that are watching have a Seestar Smart Telescope or other scopes. Let me know in the chat if you have other scopes besides the Seestar. What are we on now? 12 minutes? Swan Nebula, 12 minutes. Mike Hicks, you have an 8-inch Dob? That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a good scope right there. Yeah, Dave, stack is looking better. We're at 12 and a half minutes or so almost. And any of you watching also live at like Bortle 7, 8, 9 scale? Super light polluted skies, but still loving your Seestar? Ooh, I'm liking this Swan. Guys, I don't know if you heard, it was confirmed recently that officially we know we're at solar maximum. Let's talk about the sun real quick. And confirmed that we have seen what we saw in May for the Aurora Borealis and the Northern Lights that were visible all over the world almost around mid-May, May 11th, 10th, 11th, 12th, around those days. Amazing. They said that that was the biggest solar activity that hadn't been seen since the 80s. The closest that had been seen similar to that but didn't quite reach it was, I think, late 80s, 89, 88. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. So a lot of sun activity. I keep telling people, look at the sun when you can with your scope. Don't look at it with the naked eye. If you have solar eclipse glasses, look at the sun and see if you can see these sunspots. If they're really big, it has to be, we have to have some type of geomagnetic storm category 5 or something to see a sunspot with your solar glasses, but your solar eclipse glasses. But you know, right now with your Seestar, it's a really good time to take advantage. We're at solar maximum. This stuff is only every 20 years or so. It's a good time to be looking at the sun. This nebula is wild. I'm loving this. Dave, you're at Bortle 3. Oh, man. Mike, Bortle 5? Wow, Bortle 1, 2, 30 minutes away. Oh, man. I have to drive 2.5 hours out to get to a Bortle 3-ish. Oh, man, that's awesome. That's awesome, Mike. Yeah, you know what, Frank? I have a Nextstar 8 SE, and I don't use it as much. I still use it, but not as much as the Seestar. I totally get it. Oh, Dallas Fort Worth? Yeah, Bortle 8. Yeah, yep. I hear you. Dave, Bortle 3. Insane amazing. Stealth. You got a couple telescopes there. 13-inch Dob? Are you kidding me? That's nice too. Yeah, good scopes. Remen in Austria, Bortle 2. Oh, that's what I'm talking about, guys. Is anybody still getting Andromeda Galaxy? It rises way too late for me. All right, let's see. So 61% of you or so watching have the Seestar, but 38% do not have this telescope and you'd like one. Yeah, if you want to know more about it, guys, click on, I'm going to try to point it for you, but on top of, you know, everything on this channel is all about this scope. But if you see the 3 little dots, for those of you watching in real time right now, if you're watching later this stream, it's going to be in the link in the description, but the 3 dots that are up here next to the time, if you click on that, you see my cursor orange above my camera, you'll have more information on the scope. Just click on the description, and yeah, you can check out the scope there. You can get it on different sites, and if you purchase from one of my links there, at no additional extra cost to you, I will actually get a tiny commission from the scope, from the company. If you purchase oh, do you see fireworks, guys? At the bottom? Oh, you might not be able to, from the chat might be covering up the scope at the bottom. I have the camera with the scope in the background. Anyway, I was saying I get a tiny commission if you buy the Seestar S50 with the links that I have on the description. So it's an affiliate link. It's a way to support the channel. Yeah, Frank, you'd have to drive out kind of a little bit further out like me, yeah, to get to lower Bortle skies. Yep. Mike M31, are you imaging right now? How's M31 for me? Spiral. Oh, Andromeda. Yeah, so it's low for me. I'm getting confused with all the numbers. I almost forgot M31 was Andromeda. I'm like, wait, M31. With all the Messier objects. Yeah, see how low it is for me? Like, I'd have to like wait till probably another hour and a half to get it. Oh, Andromeda is awesome. Absolutely. Absolutely. Belisario, thanks for joining the stream. You're going to get a Seestar s50 soon. Congratulations to you. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. You're going to love it. Oh, it's cloudy for you. Okay, Mike. It's all good. It's all good. It's all right. It's actually, I'm going to try to do a little bit more live streams, guys, because it's actually, I'm having really nice clear skies. June was kind of bad for clear skies, but July, it looks like I'm having clear skies almost every single night, which is incredible. Guys, I want you to see this. Can you guys see this? I'm going to show you my phone. Air quality alert. I don't know if you guys can see that. I've got my own stream down there, but air quality alert. Severe weather. I think this is because of once the fireworks start here, they usually start days before. You can actually see bright lights sometimes. At the bottom of the screen where my camera is. But anyway, that might affect. I'm going to see when I can live stream again because I've got clear nights every night. And of course, too much fireworks I can't. Tomorrow I will not. Just as a heads up, guys, I will not be live streaming tomorrow. So, which is Wednesday. It's already Wednesday for some of you, but I won't be live streaming Wednesday. It's still Tuesday here. Wow, Frank, you're going to go out to New Mexico? Amazing. Okay, guys, now that we're talking about all this stuff, and sometimes how, especially for us that live in very light polluted places, have you guys heard of, I'm trying to remember the name, is it Starfront Observatory? You can send your scope if you have like a Raza or another big scope that you can control from your home, and you can send your scope to a separate observatory in Bortle 1 skies. If I'm not mistaken, this is by Bray Falls. I am in no way endorsed by him or anything like that, or whatever, sponsored or whatever. Okay, guys, I'm just bringing you this on my own. He's one of my favorite astrophotographers. You guys heard of Bray Falls. You can actually send your scope. People have been sending, you can send it to him in the sense that he has built an observatory in Texas, in central Texas, Bortle 1 skies. Throughout the year, it's mainly clear there. And you can send him your scope. He'll set it up for you, and you can control it from your home. Remote observing, right, is what it's called. And then that way you don't have to worry about like not having clear skies enough throughout the year, or being in Bortle 7, 8, right? Because your scope would be at a Bortle 1. Of course, you have to pay for this and stuff like that. But anyway, I just think that that's really cool. Imagine if I could send my Seestar out there. I actually asked him and he said yes. I asked him, could I send a Seestar out there? But you know, I'd have to pay a monthly fee. It's a little expensive and stuff. I don't think it's worth it for me because, you know, no one's sponsoring me to do all this stuff. I'm bringing this on my own, and it's just hard for me to, I'm not going to be, But it would be really cool to take a Seestar out there, and you can control it from far away, right? If you, I'm too worried to do that whole thing where I can, like, you know, if I was a developer, it'd be easier, but, you know, mess with the Seestar settings and do, you know, and programming and stuff like that, and be able to control it with your computer. But anyway, just thought that was interesting if you guys are digging into that. Yeah, that's kind of cool. My setup, Adam Gardner, thanks for joining the stream. I am imaging with a Seestar s50 telescope, and might be difficult to see in the chat, but oh, let me show you my scope. Outside. Let me move this up. There's my scope outside. Just a simple little scope. And yeah, and I've got my light pollution filter on. And that's it. Very simple. And I've got the tripod that it comes with. I have a leveler on it that did not come with the scope when you buy it, but I think it's absolutely necessary to just make your life easier. But yeah, and I have it at the lowest possible. My tripod legs are all the way down. I have it all the way down just because I have winds sometimes that I battle with here, and I wanted to have more stability. And yeah, just an easy setup. It's just that one scope. Smart telescope. The future is here, and that's what a lot of people are using now. Smart telescopes, super easy to use, no complicated setup. Hope that answers your question, Adam. Let me know if you're wondering anything else. Yeah, the leveler stealth is just marvelous. Just makes it easier. Just makes life easier. Frank, I don't know. You know what? You're making me want to look up, see if there's anything new, but I try to check on, in your Seestar app, under like the help feature, in your advanced settings and stuff, if you go to the help feature, there's like forums, there's like a little forum on there, people asking stuff. And let me just briefly look it up, but I sometimes check to see if there's any update if ZWO has said anything about mosaic mode. But the latest I heard is that they're still working on it, and that was like a month and a half ago or two. Yeah, that was like, was that April, May when I heard something? I haven't heard anything else. But you're making me, I just looked it up online. There's nothing there. No new update since about May or April, but you're making me want to look it up now on the Seestar forum. I'll look it up on my phone so I won't close it out here. Yeah, so under the help and feedback forum, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? In your Seestar app. Right here. Sometimes you can actually add ZWO there. Sometimes I'll check if there's any update. Let's see. You know what? They said they were going to add, I don't want to get sidetracked, but they said they were going to, maybe their plan, entering the coordinates for the Corona Borealis, because we have to look up another like little galaxy. Did you guys see my video? I have a video on how to find Corona Borealis, the nova that's going to explode soon, anytime now before September, and I have a video showing how to find it, because if you look up Corona Borealis or the Blaze star, if you look up that particular star, it's not in your Seestar. So anyway, in the help and feedback of your Seestar app, they confirmed on there, I don't know if you can see that, they confirmed they will be entering the coordinates. That's their plan for Corona Borealis, for the Blaze star, into the Sky Atlas, so we can directly go to it. That would be extremely helpful. I hope they do that. I hope the next update is going to have that. And of course, mosaic mode, like I said, I don't want to get off track. I don't know when mosaic mode is coming. But to search for Corona Borealis, guys, because you want to keep track of this, make sure it's with IC 4587. It's right next to that little tiny galaxy. So that's the best way to find it right now, I'd say. Yeah, with IC 4587. If you are curious what I'm talking about, you're not sure, just go to my video. It's entitled Corona Borealis, How to Find a Hydrogen Bomb in Space. So I show step by step how to get to Corona Borealis. And remember, this is going to be naked eye visible. So even if you don't have a scope, you will be able to see this nova once it explodes, a new star in the night sky. That's going to be insane amazing. Okay, so let me see anything new on mosaic mode. I don't see it. I don't see any update. 30 days, past 30 days. Oh, okay. So yeah, May, looks like May 30th was the last one. May 30th, ZWO said, sorry that they've let us wait for a long time, but this function is in their plan, and they are urging developers to provide the mosaic mode option as soon as possible. So Yeah, it's been like half a year since they've been saying it. Yeah, guys. I mean that the last one was May 3rd. What is that? So almost June 1st. So I guess it's been about 30 days since they last said something. Good question, Frank. Yeah, I mean 30 days ago. And since then, trying to think, have we had any updates? Any other updates? We've had small updates since then. Small ones, but let's hope, guys. Let's hope. Oh man, scenery tracking. Chewy, thanks for joining first of all. Chewy, you know what? Did you see my video on tracking and how it needs some help? My last video that I posted was on scenery tracking, and yeah, it's to get Starship launched. Can you imagine how awesome that's going to be if you get that on your Seestar? I don't know how well it's going to track it. I mean, because that thing goes fast, right? It's going to be, that would be so incredible. Scenery tracking update, not that I'm aware of, but that would be, they need to. I even mentioned it in the video. Like, ZWO, please, like, let's hope that this feature gets better, because we needed to track objects that move quickly, whether in nature or like if you want to get a rocket launch, right? So when I was trying to capture stuff, yeah, sailboats and stuff, you know, I'm not gonna get into that, but it was only for a few seconds was I able to like keep it tracking. So yeah, I think it could probably track slower, maybe wildlife that's moving slow or something. I don't know, but Overseer, thanks for joining. It might work. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you're 5 miles out, maybe. Guys, thank you so much for joining this live stream. Stay tuned. I'll be live streaming more. This has been an awesome night. We got almost 20 minutes of stacking with the M17 Omega Nebula, Swan Nebula. It's been a good night. I'm going to screenshot this so I won't lose it. And yes, we've had a good night. More deep space. I think I need to do more deep space Milky Way live streams. Thanks everyone for joining. We'll catch you guys again soon. And thank you for those of you who donated as well. Thank you, Stealth.